All right, so when you look at the roster as a whole, I mean, who stays and who goes? We got a glut of like guards and wing players. I mean, what do you got? Like 12, 13 of those guys. Like, how long are some of these older guys going to be? I mean, is Marcus Smart going to actually play for this team? Chris Middleton, Corey Kispert, C.J. McCollum. I mean, the list goes on and on.
I mean, that's a great question. It's like a numbers game at this point. They have so many players. They just traded Kelly Olynyk for two more young players from the Spurs, and there's not enough roster spots to go around.
Right.
And, when they first traded for Kelly Olynyk and C.J. McCollum, I was asked on the radio, like, where are they going to fit in the rotation? And I was like, well, we've got to see. I didn't expect one of them to get traded, but you just never know. And so we saw what happened with Kelly Olynyk. Would have been ironic if he played for the Wizards, of course, given their history. That's not going to happen. But yeah, you just don't know. And I would say definitely look at the veteran players, the guys on expiring contracts, guys who, might be able to help contenders. I think there's still plenty of time left in the offseason, and I would imagine the Wizards are going to field calls for those guys probably in particular. But then as far as the young guys, there's just going to be a lot more of them on the roster next year. And I think the way that could translate is just more competition for roles and minutes. They're young guys. They've kind of brought them in. They've clear the runway for them to play a lot of minutes and essentially be given their roles to a certain extent. Now I think the accountability is going to have a different nature to it where guys will have to perform or else someone else is going to take their spot.
An intriguing guy that just picked up kind of almost as an afterthought is Cam Whitmore, first-round pick of a couple of years ago with the Spalding, local kid, still very, very young. I'm not sure he's even 21 yet, right? Didn't we talk about that? Like he's just barely
just turned 21. I think July 7th he turned 21.
Is that a guy that it's just kind of they're just giving a flyer to, or is he somebody they think, hey, he might actually be able to help us?
Yeah, I think it's more than just giving a flyer to him. You might think that just because they only had to give up 2 second-round picks, but he was a top 5 talent in the draft 2 years ago, and he fell unexpectedly on draft night to 20th. There were rumors about his medical reports, maybe an issue with his knee, but he was really good in Houston. He just couldn't get minutes because he was on a playoff team, and they had a lot of talent at his position, and Ime Udoka really favors defense, and that's not a big strength of his. But it's pretty amazing the production he had in the minutes that he did play. He only averaged like about 17 minutes a game through 2 years there, and was scoring about 11 points per game. So he can get to it. He could shoot. He's really athletic. He's going to be the best dunker on the Wizards from day one. He's going to be fun to watch. And what I like about watching him is he's super aggressive. Like, he's not timid at all. He's got a really high motor on the offensive end. And going back to that idea of competing with other players, like, guys are going to have to bring their A games because we know that he will.
All right, so this is an opinion. I want your opinion. So if this team is going to get to another level eventually, one of these young guys has to emerge and be the alpha offensively, right? You watch OKC, clearly Shea is, leading scorer in the league and everything. Most teams have that guy. Who do you think? Now, you haven't seen Trey play for him yet. You've seen
Right.
Bub, you've seen Sar, you got Bilal. Do they have that alpha yet?
I think Bub Carrington has the best chance of being that guy. Whether they have that alpha yet, I would lean towards yes with him. I think he's definitely got the alpha personality. Like, you can pick that right up when you're talking to him. But also, I was impressed with his rookie year. He is the most skilled and the best shooter of their young guys, or at least he demonstrated that last year. He's the most skilled off the dribble. And I thought down the stretch of last year, he really showed a lot in terms of creating his own shot. We saw him hit the buzzer beater in Game 82 against the Miami Heat. He last year in the Summer League, it stood out to me that he just immediately took a three and knocked it down like 5 seconds into his first Summer League game. Like, that guy is never scared. He never backs down from a challenge. And he just has that type of personality where he wants to be that guy. He wants to take that shot. And the fact that he's so far ahead of the other guys in terms of his skill off the dribble, that's why I would say it's him.
He had a 32-point game against Orlando in that last month as well. I don't know that Sar ever got to that. Well, I guess Sar did have one 34-point game. I feel like he's got a little more offensive upside, so I agree with you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, look, Bilal Coulibaly and Alex Sar, they're more defensive picks. Like, if they can become good offensive players, then that would be great. They would be great two-way players potentially. But they were drafted primarily for their defense. Bub Carrington was drafted for his offense. And when you're talking about a guy to lead the offense or lead a team, generally think a guy who can score a lot of points, and I think he's got a potential to do that.
So these two players that they acquired for Olynyk, Branham and Wesley, Malachi Branham, Blake Wesley, they're not going to make the team. I mean, there's no roster spots for them.
Yeah, I mean, right now they would definitely be pretty low on the list. So unless they clear some room, getting some veterans out of there,
right.
You have to imagine if maybe in training camp they're competing for those final spots. Maybe it's not NBA contracts. Maybe it's time in the G League.
Right.
Hey, what's your file? He's on the Summer League roster, and I guess maybe he's been part of the Go-Go. It's just a great name. I wasn't familiar with him. He played at North Carolina. What's your file on Leaky Black?
Yeah, he's been a guy he's been in their system a couple years now. 6'8", wing, known for his defense. Was a really good defensive player at North Carolina. Just going back to taking a flyer on a guy, that's what they're doing with him. Got the positional size, play some defense. Maybe he can sort of come into his own physically and prove to be a diamond in the rough, but someone that, certainly you wouldn't have high expectations for. But I think what they're doing is just trying to bring in as many young guys with athleticism as they can. They probably have like 10 or 12 guys that you could say that about at this point, and just see who emerges.